Museums have collected human remains for centuries, and their different forms create ethical challenges. Close research is required when it comes to owning human remains. The circumstances in which they are collected and how they are displayed is met with varying opinions. This skull is part of a collection donated by Wellspan York Hospital that was used and displayed in the Hoover Medical Library and Archives, and has limited provenance information. Yes, in fact, this is a real human skull. Anatomical names are written on the surface with ink, and there is also a metal spring used to connect the lower jaw to the upper jaw. This object brings up an important question. Do the educational benefits of human remains outweigh the rights of the dead? It requires an appropriate context to educate rather than just attract audiences with a macabre interest. Because we do not know the provenance associated with this skull, we can only make the assumption that it was donated to science by a willing person. Skulls and skeletons are used as a symbol throughout art history as a reminder of death, or memento mori. Seeing, and in my case, touching and holding a human skull certainly gives you a sense of your own body, and that in the end, all of us are truly the same on the inside. Different forms of human remains require different methods of storage and handling, but all required to be treated with care, respect, and dignity. We use a soft, natural bristle brush to dust the surface of the skull before it is ready for storage. We maintain our storage conditions to the best of our abilities to ensure the long-term preservation of our artifacts. This includes maintaining an environment with a stable temperature and relative humidity that we monitor on data loggers. It is also important to have a storage area where light is kept at a minimum because the light can not only damage the skull, but also the box it is stored inside. This skull is going to be stored in a watertight, sealed, archival quality, acid-free polyethylene bag. Having the skull in a sealed environment eliminates the risk of pests and moisture. As mentioned earlier, the skull has metal springs connecting the upper and lower jaws to one another, and this poses risks as well as additional support needed for its long-term storage. When storing a skull, there is a preference of storing the skull in a manner where the teeth are not stored in occlusion or with the upper and lower teeth positioned against each other, and no pressure should be applied to the teeth in order to keep the enamel intact. Since there are springs, the bottom jaw cannot be removed and stored separately, so we are going to make a foam support in order to keep pressure off the teeth and prevent any damage to the enamel. A complete skull should be stored upside down with the teeth pointing upwards. We are going to place the skull in its acid-free polyethylene bag with a foam support between the teeth, and the object is ready for storage.